The nearly 300 Arizona National Guard members will soon be stationed along this stretch of the border, but people we talk to are divided about whether or not they're going to make any difference. Living on a ranch near the Mexican border, this woman says she's recently been seeing more and more undocumented immigrants come across her land.
Even if we don't see them, we see their tracks.
That's why she's hopeful having nearly 350 National Guard troops nearby will increase border safety.
It'll make a difference, because I think psychologically, if the people that want to cross think that it's going to be harder, then they're going to take more time to think about it and if it's really worth it.
People living right next to the border in Nogales, though, don't think it will make any difference.
There's nothing to do here. If they come, what they going to do?
Es algo inútil que...
It's a little pointless because guards or no guards, people will continue to come across.
Arizona Governor Doug Ducey deployed the troops Monday afternoon. He says border crossings are up nearly 200%.
This mission is about providing manpower in stopping the flow of criminals.
Santa Cruz County Sheriff Tony Estrada says he welcomes the extra support, but believes it's presidential politics.
There is, that I know of, any crisis, nothing different from what we had in the past.
How long the troops will stay is unclear. This woman, though, hopes it isn't permanent.
I would think it's a temporary fix until they can get more of the technology down there that will help the Border Patrol.
At the border, Nick Van Zant, News 4 Tucson. Look closely. Can you see it? How about a closer look? Don't worry, self-proclaimed huge Star Wars fan Easter Bahene.
From a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 9.5 because my brother's a 10.
Walks by it all the time and never noticed it until right now.
That is so lit. Oh, wow. What? Why? I did not know that is so cool. What?
When Michael Tancredo saw it, he had the same reaction.
That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen, and I'm definitely going to inform my other Star Wars nerd friends about it.
Then ran off to get his friend.
That's so subtle.
So what is it already? A small carving of this classic scene. Han Solo frozen in carbonite. But while many students don't even know about the artwork, others have come from thousands of miles away just to see it.
It's so tiny.
Sai Takahama, for example, lives in Hawaii. He heard about the artwork on Reddit and says he just had to see it for himself.
One of my friends, he's a big Star Wars fanatic, and he told me to get a picture for him, so I guess I'll help him out.
Well, Dr. Augustine Romero's contract has been approved twice before, once last year and once last week. Tuesday night, they took another look.
Ms. Grijalva? No. Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Right after the decision was made, supporters of Dr. Augustine Romero lashed out at board members.
You just threw all of them under the bus and you say you support us?
You're not a politician. You're not representing us. You're doing this for yourself.
Romero himself could only describe the board's decision one way.
This is a history of racism. The board is racist.
For what reasons?
They're racist.
The board's vote came after nearly an hour of public comments. Most were in favor of keeping Romero.
Firing Dr. Romero is neither the most moral or ethical choice. We will fight for him.
Some were against.
If you allow things like what happened at Pueblo, where a teacher is not only disrespected, but the grades are changed when it's illegal and against board policy, how are you supporting teachers?
Ultimately, the board voted 3-2 to not renew Romero's contract.
This is about grudges, and I hope that the board members who vote for this item get their pound of flesh.
Schools, what's going on at the schools and how we measure who we hire and who we promote. This is not political.
A decision that prompted boos from the crowd.
I've always been there for our students, our community, our teachers. That's what is in my soul, and I will continue to do that every day. And I love Pueblo.
Now, some students we talked to say they plan on protesting at Pueblo High School beginning this morning. In Tucson, Nick Van Zant, News 4 Tucson.